Okay, so it's story time. I'm gonna tell you a story about the one of the scariest experiences that I've ever had. Okay, so I was on my way from Tennessee. I just got out of jail for probation violation, and so my family bought me a bus ticket. I transferred my probation back to Indiana, and I was headed back to Indiana. And by the time I was on some red. I think it was a Baron bus, and because they have like a contract with Greyhound or whatever, and they we were in northern Indiana and we had gotten to Fort Wayne. So I'm on the bus, and the driver had repeated like literally 15, 20 times. Stay in your seat unless it's your stop. Stay in your seat unless it's your stop. Stay in your seat unless it's your stop. Saying over the loudspeaker or whatever. And she kept playing this video like 3 or 4 times. That they got like little screens on the back of the seat or whatever. And it was this strange video. I forgot exactly what it said, but it was about safety and and then it's for some reason said don't leave, Kevin, or something like that. And so anyway, we get there. This lady kept saying it, and I was asking all these guys on the bus, so where you headed? Where you headed? And they wouldn't look at me, dude. It was weird. They're like Chicago. And I was like, okay. So everybody else in the bus, there's like 3 or 4 other people on the bus. And so we're in Chicago. So, I already light the cigarettes. Burning weird. So, I hop off the bus. I'm like, fuck this. I'm getting out of here. I got paranoid, I'm like, this is weird, man. Why is this happening? So, I get off the bus. I start walking around Fort Wayne. There's all these cars, different license plates from different areas, like there's California, Arizona, Ohio, Illinois, Alabama, like all the places that I had been. There was license plates, like they had followed me from there. And there's people walking by saying weird shit, talking about Chicago and windy and saying things about death and overdose, and I was just freaked out, man. So I started walking around Fort Wayne. I started heading into businesses and stuff. I headed into this Wendy's, and this guy, there was a cop in there, and he was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He was asking the lady at the counter, like, "Have you ever seen him before?" And she's like, "No, not on my shift. I never saw him." And she's like, if somebody asked later on in the day, she's pretty much saying that if I saw him later on in the day, I had never seen him. Somebody asked. So I got freaked out, I left, and I'm walking down this river into this guy who's in the Salvation Army ARC with me, and Gary. He's a real light-skinned guy. He's a black guy, light skin, and green eyes. I forgot what his name was, bald-headed. But I ran into him, and he was saying he was homeless out there and stuff, and it was just weird that I ran into him. And so after a couple hours, because I called the hospital and everything, and they were saying, yeah, we'll take care of you here. We'll take care of you here. And that made me even more paranoid. I was scared to go to the hospital because I was scared they'd do something to me. So I, because I have, some issues and some people that want me dead. So I finally go back to the Greyhound station, and I go to get my ticket. I go to get a new ticket because I told them that I had missed the bus or something like that. I made up some excuse. And so I get a ticket, and there's a guy who walks up to the counter after me, and he says, yeah, he gave me this ticket and it didn't work. That's how they communicate. They communicate through speaking to other people and talking to me. So he said something about the ticket not working or something like that. So I call the Greyhound number. I'll never forget the number, 32965. That was the schedule number. And I called the Greyhound, and they said that schedule does not exist. You must have the wrong numbers or something. I'm like, I'm looking at it right now. I'm not wrong. And he said, well, that ticket's going to be no good for you. So I go to the counter. I'm like, hey, man, you gave me a fake ticket. And the lady's laughing at me. She's laughing at me. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you? I was like, so I ended up getting online just to check again, just to make sure. So I get online, I check, number doesn't exist. It says schedule does not exist, or schedule is invalid, or something like that. Because you can do the track your bus thing. I know if you ever rode Greyhound, you know what I'm talking about. So, what happens next is I go to the counter. I'm like, look, man, you need to give me a real ticket. This is bullshit. And she's like, no, the bus will be here. The bus will be here. It's a real ticket. Da 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 da. And she's laughing at me, man. So, anyway, I call the cops. Cop shows up. He's talking to me. And he's, like, smirking. So I was like, oh, man, I don't know if he was a crooked cop or what was going on. But he was, like, smirking at me. I'm like, it's his fucking problem. And I kept telling him this lady gave me a fake ticket. And he's like, there's no evidence that I got online, and showed him on my phone, like, look, dude, here, the schedule doesn't exist. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, pretty much just bullshitting me. So, after that, I go to, the bus finally shows up, and it's a Blue Chip Casino bus. I took pictures of it on my phone, because I was, like, scared, man. I was like, this is so strange. This is so fucking strange. And the lady's like, are you going to get on the bus or not? And there was, like, there was only, like, 3 or 4 people on the bus. None of them would tell me where they were going or anything. And so I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to get on this bus. And the cop is standing. There's 2 or 3 cops standing there. And I was like, are we going to the Gary, Indiana Greyhound station? And mind you, this lady is not wearing, I know you know how if you ever rode Greyhound, you know how the Greyhound bus drivers, they have like a vest with the Greyhound logo on it. They have blue button-up shirts and black pants. She had none of that. She had a vest, but it didn't have any Greyhound symbol on it or anything. She had, like, khaki pants on and, like, a gray button-up shirt. So it was weird, you know? So I was like, she's like, well, we'll get you to Gary. I was like, what about the Greyhound station? The Greyhound station. She's like, well, we'll get you to Gary. Like, she was saying, like, I'm not taking you to the Greyhound station, but I'll get you to Gary. So the schedule says it's supposed to show up at 4:30, right? It showed up in Gary at 4:30. God, I'm shaking. Scary, man. It was really crazy. Either I'm crazy or, you know, whatever. So I finally, she's like, I can get on the bus or not? So I got on the bus. As soon as I turn my back, she goes, yes, we got him. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, just get on the bus. She got on the bus. She starts driving. And I'm watching. And I'm like, where are we going? So we started heading north. We're actually supposed to be headed west. We're supposed to be headed towards Elkhart. So the next stop was Elkhart. So we get there. When we didn't get there, we're headed northeast into Michigan. I'm like, I'm getting a hold of my mom, and mom's like, she's saying weird shit like, your problem is nationwide, and there's nothing you can do about it, and I know a guy who had the exact same problem as you, and he's in fucking Israel. I'm like, Israel? What the fuck? So I'm asking the bus driver, I'm like, why are we headed this way? Why are we headed this way? We're completely off course. And I look at the bus tracker, there's no bus under that number, so there's no bus tracker. You know, there's no camera on the bus or anything. And it's like 3:30, and we're still haven't even got to Elkhart yet. She finally gets back on course and starts heading west. I call the cops, and it's the state cop that pulled us over. And he's like, what's your problem? I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like people got me trapped. I'm scared, man. And the cop goes to get off the bus, you know, I'm finally saying, man, I'm fine. He's like, well, I can follow you to the next stop or whatever, da-da-da-da. Right before he gets off the bus, he looks at me and goes, nighttime. I'm like, what? And so I'm like, this is so weird. We finally get to, I'm asking these people, like, where are you headed? None of them will tell me. So we finally get to Elkhart, and I'm so freaked out. It's almost dark, dude. It's like 6:30. We're supposed to be there at 4:30. And if you're off course, you know, even if you get a little bit off course or there's traffic or whatever, you'll be a little bit late on Greyhound, but not that late. This is ridiculous. We're supposed to be in Gary, Indiana at 4:30, but it was 6:30, and we were in fucking Elkhart, dude. So I'm like, man, this is not right. I gotta get off this bus. So I get off the bus, and there's like motorcycles circling around and shit, like a bunch of them, dude. A bunch of them. I was like, holy shit, what is going on? So I go like 2 gas stations over from the little motel or whatever that we had stopped at. It was like a motel stop or whatever. I didn't even think it was even a real stop, and I'm finding out it was a legit stop. But so right before I walked away, though, mind you, the lady said, "You need to get back on the bus. They're gonna kill me if I don't get you there." And I'm like, "Whoa, what?" So that's when I took off. I was like, "Fuck this, bye bye." So I called 911, and I'm like, "Man, I'm paranoid. I'm delusional because I'm assuming that this is not real, man. This can't be happening." And so the cop shows up, and he's like paying attention to all these motorcycles circling around. All these fucking motorcycles are circling around. He's paying attention to them, and he's like, "You want to go to the hospital?" And I'm so fucking scared. I don't even want to get back to this car because I don't trust this cop, man. Like, I don't fucking trust him. So I finally get in the car. I'm like, "Can I keep my phone?" He's like, "Yeah, absolutely. You're fine." So I call my dad, and I'm like, "Dad, I'm just letting you know, I'm so scared right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm scared. I think that they're going to hurt me." And he's like, "Well, why would you think that?" I'm like, "Man," I was like, "He's not even taking me to, I thought at first he wasn't taking me to the hospital. He ended up taking me to the hospital." So I get to the hospital in Elkhart. It was Elkhart General or something like that. And the staff is walking by saying weird things like, "Yes, we got him, ha 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 ha." Like he's just saying weird shit, man. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm calling my little brother, calling my dad, I'm calling anybody, man. Anybody that'll hear me out and listen. And this nurse is sitting there watching me because I'm a mental health patient. This lady's sitting there watching me. She's sitting there making this little sketch. And it says, in like cursive letters, "Nap time, spooky time." I'm like, what the fuck? Because they had just given me a shot. They forced, like 4 or 5 security officers came, and they gave me a shot of, I believe it was Ativan. They were trying to knock me out, man. I hadn't been sleeping like a day and a half because I was fucking, I had been on the bus. You can't really get no sleep on the bus. You can take like power naps for like maybe 10 or 15 minutes at a time, but you're gonna end up getting like jolted and bouncing around and shit, and waking you up or whatever. So finally, they kept asking me, "We need your phone, if you're going to go to the hospital," because it started saying that I needed to leave if I wasn't going to give up my phone. So, like, after like 2 hours of arguing with these people, I finally gave them my phone. And the lady was walking by, and she said, "You got the phone?" Finally. I'm like, what the fuck? So, they ended up taking me to mental hospital. But this shit was just so crazy, man, so weird. These people was like, everybody that was around me was conspiring against me. I don't know if it was a real experience or not, but it felt so real. I mean, I've looked it up, and Greyhound does not use, they've never used a blue chip casino bus. They make sure they have a dress code for their employees, so that they're rarely late, very rarely late. And they had me in Elkhart at 6:30. The schedule was, I mean, mine's just like a 2-hour ride. I'm 2 hours late and still 2 hours away. How does that make any fucking sense? You know what I mean? So, I'm on the phone with my little brother right before I go to the psych hospital. And he's like, "Man, there's something you gotta tell me, because these people, they think that I think I'm some kind of chomo or something. I actually went to the Lake County Sheriff's and addressed the problem and told them who was making the accusations and everything, because I remember a few years ago, like I said in my other video, the kid was outside the store, and he said, "That's the guy that, whatever, touched me or tried to whatever," that's what he said. I don't. So anyway, I've had him look into the issue, and he hasn't got back to me yet. But I mean, I'm innocent. I'm a harmless guy. You know what I mean? I'm a little fucking crazy, but I'm not delusional. And I would never hurt a kid ever. Like I said, I said in my other video, I've told on people before. I've let people take the fall for shit that I've done. I have done that, but I'm not a monster. Like, I'm worried that like these people went to like my brother and said that I was like that or something, because for some reason, I mean, I tried to rob a bank or whatever, and I got in trouble, I'm on probation and all that, but my brother, he's been mad at me before, but eventually, like, within, like, a couple weeks, usually he talks to me, man, and he's not talking to me at all, so I'm thinking he thinks that I'm some kind of monster and don't want me around his kids, and I fucking love my niece and nephew, man. I love those kids to death. It's the closest thing I've ever had to my own children, you know, and, because I would love to be a dad. I think I'd make a good dad, so, I don't know, I don't know what to even do anymore, but that's my story of the last time that I was like really close to. I don't know, but see, what I don't understand is how would it make sense for them to pretty much tell me what's going on, you know, to try and get me. I mean, I think there's more to it than that. Sometimes I don't think that they want to kill me. I think they're trying to teach me some kind of life lesson or something like that. Because regardless of what's happened, I've never been touched other than the guy that tried to attack me in Alabama. That's the only time anything's ever actually happened. So I think that there may be a chance that, you know, there's maybe some kind of diplomacy here where we can have a conversation and, like I said, be diplomatic and talk about this or whatever. Like I said, they claim. I keep hearing something about a picture or something. I would love to do that because I think that's horseshit. I believe that if that was true, that I'd have been arrested a long time ago. Because, but I think they know that the picture's fucking photoshopped or whatever. If they have one, and it's photoshopped, and they can't show the cops because the cops will have it looked into and know that the photo's fucking bullshit. So, anyway, man. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they want. I don't know why they keep fucking with me like this. I probably shouldn't even be putting this on YouTube. But it's just like to the point to where I can't take anymore. I can't leave my house. Can't go anywhere. I can't do anything, man. I can't eat. I can barely sleep. I'm in constant fear, man, and it sucks. I just want to move on with my life. That's all I want. And I can't get a fucking break. Today I went to the pharmacy, and there was a guy there that was talking about he snitched. He's a fucking snitch, acting like he was on the phone. But I know he was hinting towards me. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I did. You know, I am. I mean, what would you expect somebody to do? Like, seriously, what would you expect somebody to do if you put them in a predicament like this and constantly harass them and scared the shit out of them? Eventually, I don't give a fuck if you're fucking El Chapo, man. If this shit was happening to El Chapo and he didn't know anybody, and he, you know, he was whatever, he would end up fucking looking for help, man, because nobody wants to goddamn die, man. But I think if they really wanted me dead, that I'd be dead by now. But, either they're trying to drive me insane to the point to where I do it myself, or they just enjoy fucking with me or something. I know this all sounds crazy, but that's a true story, man. It's really happened. Like I said, I tell my family about it, and they act like they don't believe me, but I know that they believe me because my mom, you know, like I said, what she had said to me when I was at her in Fort Wayne, she's like, your problem is nationwide. There's nothing you can do about it. How is a mental health problem nationwide? She's not talking about mental health. And she said she knew a guy who had the same problem as me, and he was in fucking Israel. And tell me I gotta go to goddamn Israel. But I don't know, man. I'm about to bring this video to an end, and it's about all I got for now. Yeah, man. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. So, anyway, yeah, it's my story, man. What happened there before. I can put up another video about what happened. Next, I'll put up another video about what happened in Alabama. That's a crazy fucking story. I'll tell that one next. Yeah, dude. I'm in some deep shit. Anyway, if any of you that don't like me are watching this, God bless you. You're wrong, but God bless you. And I hope someday we can put our differences aside and move on with our lives, because this shit's fucking ridiculous, dude. All I want is some peace, man. I'm a good guy. And I don't think I should be getting fucked with like this. Yeah. So, like, subscribe, tell your friends, man. Listen to my story. I've got plenty more of them for you. This shit's crazy, bro. I mean, this is unbelievable stuff here. And, it's reality, man. It's crazy. I could tell you shit that'd fucking curdle your blood. So, anyway, man. Yeah. Like, subscribe. Listen to the next story, man. We'll be back.